Hey there, and welcome to Idle Weekly. Today's game is called Increlution, and this is the expansion that included the rest of Chapter 6, Chapter 7, Chapter 8, and Chapter 9. And I have finally finished it. It took a while, but this expansion has definitely made the game more interesting than the game was already. And I really do like this game. And I already liked it before. In case you saw the previous video that showcased the game up to chapter 6. This time around, there is even more story than before. And the story unravels more of the mystery of the loops. And as a bit of a spoiler, we discovered that there are other people who are also stuck in the loop. No idea how that works, but sure. The game also has a new skill called the Hourglass, and that one gives you permanent buffs. Like for example, the first one you find can decrease the cooldown on eating foods. The second one decreases the amount of health you lose on explorations that take away health, like for example combat. And the third one increases the food multiplier on the amount of health that your food recovers, but it also increases the cooldown, so it is basically balanced with the cooldown decreasing ability, which is interesting. The game also now comes with different paths. I mean, it already did in the early levels or chapters, but depending on the paths you take in the early chapters, the game actually changes later on. You get decisions that you didn't get before, which is interesting. And also, well, there is an interesting path that depending on which one you take early in the game, you actually can get stuck. I was actually stuck in the early game for a while because I always took the belt path that triples my health. Somehow, that didn't allow me to progress based on my setup. So I was grinding away for a while. The moment I switched to the other path, somehow I immediately got further by about one whole chapter for no noticeable reason. I don't know why, but yeah. And then when I got stuck again, I tried the belt path again, and then I was able to progress even further. So there are definitely some choices that allow you to progress in different ways. And I think the further we get, the more such choices we will get. At least seems to be that way right now. Which is definitely interesting. Also, sometimes you see that I have some combat encounters that have the other exploration without have the other exploration part that has the automatic mode disabled. That is for myself. That is as a reminder that those combat encounters exist, because I want to do those eventually as the main auto mode. But for now I can't beat them, so I just have the game stop around those parts until I'm able to beat them. Then I will get the automatic mode for that combat encounter, and that's that. Also, between when I first beat the game's current content at the end of chapter 9, at least I think it's the end, and me being able to actually make this a recap, the game got a new feature called the New Game Plus. And as far as the patch notes go, that feature will always be optional. The game will not be balanced to take that into account, which is good, because it is New Game Plus. Of course, it's gonna be something optional that you do once you have beaten the game. So that is fine. It's just there for people who want to play the game more than they are currently able to, but don't want to overpower the future content, which I don't, for example. I don't want to be too powerful for the next chapter, so I don't play the game long enough after. I don't beat the game so many times that I will get to that point. But yeah. Another, probably one more thing that I can say about it is that one of the chapters is interesting. You have these different islands that you can go to. Once you beat an island, you don't have to do that again. You can just ignore it. For example, once you have beat the second island, you can just ignore island number 1 and island number 2 and just go straight to number 3. I always did them all, but you double, I think you double your health loss or health decay for every island you go to. So if you want to play the game efficiently, I think you should do each island one by one until you have beaten all of them. Then you can probably go through each of them in, I don't even know in which order they are best. They are best done. But that is definitely an interesting feature. I just like to complete things or do as much of the content as I can each run, so I just do them all anyway. But I guess you can do them later once you have beaten them all, and I would have probably managed to beat them quicker in that case. But who knows? That is pretty much everything I know about this game so far. I know that we have found dragons. One of the dragons you fight, but I can't beat him yet. He's really, really powerful. Takes me like 2 minutes, I think. And the health decay is so extreme that there is no point in even trying, because I can last for on this path with 1.4 million health without the belt. I can probably last about 2 seconds. You need to really level up this second hourglass artifact to make a difference there. And you probably need about 2 billion on the combat multiplier. I can get just about 1 billion at the end of the game. Nowhere near that around the time the bronze dragon shows up. So yeah, I will leave you to the rest of my run. So if you want, you can see the current content as it is for now, without me being able to beat some of the combat encounters. And I will see you next time. Bye.